What is up, and welcome to SGPN's The Daily Dog. I'm your host, Britton Hess. I'm here with my favorite Underdog fantasy pick and plays for Tuesday, July 1st, 2025. I can't believe it's July. I say that every month, but man, it flies by when you're making Underdog entries every single day. July is one of the best months of the year. It is peak summer. You get to go out to the beach. You get to go to the lake, wherever you are. You get to enjoy the outdoors, as long as you're in the Northern Hemisphere, I guess. You know what? I absolutely love July. We got 4th of July around the corner. I will be traveling later this week, so the show schedule could be interrupted a little bit. I'm going out to the East Coast, going to be out in the wilderness. But you know what? Enough about me. I'll talk more about that later. If you're new to Underdog Fantasy, sign up with the promo code DailyDog, DAILYDOG at UnderdogFantasy.com or in the Underdog Fantasy app for a 50% deposit match bonus. All right, today we got entries in MLB. We got the pitchers entries, obviously, as well. We got the batters, the pitchers. We got WNBA Commissioner's Cup entry. We got FIFA Club World Cup. We got Wimbledon. We got the Lotto entry. We got the Dong squads. It is going to be a good day. MLB entry number 1, Riley Greene, higher than 7.5 fantasy points. One, this dude is just awesome. I mean, what else is there to say about Riley Greene? And the other thing is it's going to be very good hitting weather at Nationals Park. Trevor Williams is not a pitcher I'm worried about at all. Righty versus lefty, lefty being Greene. I like him to have higher than 7.5 fantasy points. You can obviously get this in one swing if it's a home run, but he's a guy that they could walk. He could get on base. He could get sack flies. There's a lot of ways for him to get these points for us. So I really like him in this matchup in good hitter-friendly environment versus a pitcher who we can do damage against. Wilyer Abreu, higher than 0.5 RBIs is who I'm pairing with on this entry. Wilyer Abreu obviously had a massive game yesterday, inside the park home run, and then a true home run. So, good for Wilyer Abreu. He's a very underrated player. He missed some time with some injuries, took a little bit of time to get back into the swing of things, but he looked back yesterday, and I'm going to say that, he's going to be able to keep that up here against Brady Singer, who's been okay, but I think he's hitting a little bit of a wall. I think his best days of the year are, at least consistently good days, are behind him, and he's going to be pretty mid the rest of the way through. So RBI for Wilyer Abreu, higher than 7.5 fantasy points. For Riley Greene, 3.33x multiplier. MLB entry number 2, Aaron Judge, higher than 1.5 total bases. He's obviously a good home run selection. He's a good home run selection every day, basically. But the odds are very short, so you got to, figure out if you're going to play it straight or pair it with something on Underdog, which, hint, hint, we're pairing him with something on the home run later. But against Kevin Gausman today, I'm going to be taking him to have higher than 1.5 total bases. So that way, if he does just get a double and doesn't get the full-on homer, we are not we're not out of luck on that. He's got 6 homers against Gausman. He's batting .342 against Gausman. He's got 2 doubles against him. He's got 41 at bats. He's been walked 9 times against Kevin Gausman, but higher than 1.5 total bases here. He's seen him a ton, and again, it's just he's a guy who can hit for. He's not a guy only hitting for power now. So 2 singles is definitely on the resume or on the range of outcomes chart. But again, I like higher than 1.5 total bases. You're getting a flat multiplier there for a guy who's like a massive favorite to hit home run. Pretty good odds. CJ Abrams, higher than 0.5 runs. Again, this Nationals game against Nationals game against the Tigers, Jack Flaherty has definitely hit a wall lately. His last several starts have been far from good. 3 earned in his last one, maybe a little bit of a step in the right direction, but that was against the Athletics, and they lost that game 3-0. Prior to that, 8 earned in 2 1/3 against the Rays, and then 7 earned in 4 2/3 against the Reds. I think that's kind of where we're at with Jack Flaherty right now. He's probably going to allow 3 earned here, but I do think that, the leadoff man, CJ Abrams, great shot to score a run. He can obviously hit homers. He gets on base. He's got a good base. He's a good base runner. So give me CJ Abrams higher than 0.5 runs, pairing that with Nolan Arenado higher than 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Arenado does have a homer against Paul Seguin, but he's also batting .357 against him in 14 plate appearances. I think he's going to get a hit. I think there might be somebody on. Actually, the Cardinals have been pretty good against Skeens for the most part. Arenado has a hit in every game that Skeens has pitched in, and he's got a hit against Skeens in 4 or 5 of those games. So I like those odds, and that means you just need to have somebody on in running or in scoring position when he gets that hit, or you need someone to drive him home. And as I said, there's some Cardinals that are not too bad in this matchup in the limited 1.5 season sample size we got. What am I talking about? I jumped down to another entry. I'm sorry if I'm confusing you. So Aaron Judge, higher than 1.5 total bases. CJ Abrams, higher than 0.5 runs, is 3.15x multiplier. The next entry is Nolan Arenado, who I just spoke about. I'm sorry if I'm confusing you. Pairing him with Marcell Ozuna, higher than 0.5 RBIs. Ozuna, Ozuna has loved this matchup against Tyler Anderson. 9 at bats, 3 hits. But pairing him with Marcell Ozuna higher than 0.5 RBIs. I think the guys at the plate ahead of Ozuna are going to be on, and I think he's going to have a good chance of getting a sack fly or get a run batted in some other fashion. I just think Tyler Anderson, he is a good guy who can eat innings. He's not going to shut you down. He's not going to, allow 15 runs. It's going to be somewhere in the middle, and I think where Ozuna is batting in this righty versus lefty matchup really yields a RBI quite frequently. So 4.38x multiplier on that one, pretty juicy. I like it. MLB entry number and number 4, Heliot Ramos higher than 1.5 total bases. Matt McLain higher than 0.5 runs. Heliot Ramos, obviously a guy that I just try to back every chance I can get. And then Matt McLain playing against Richard Fitts. Richard Fitts has lost his last 10 starts. His record isn't that, but the last 10 starts, all 10 starts of his career for the Red Sox have ended up in losses. McLain batting near the top of that order. Guys behind him can drive him in. Guys can hit homers at Fenway. So give me Matt McLain higher than 0.5 runs scored with Heliot Ramos higher than 1.5 total bases. 3.27x multiplier. All right, pitchers number 1, Jack Flaherty higher than 0.5 first inning runs allowed in this game with the Tigers. Well, Trevor Williams as well, both pitchers. So Jack Flaherty, Trevor Williams higher than 0.5 first inning runs allowed, paired with Shane Smith, Yoshinobu, Yamamoto higher or lower than 0.5 first inning runs allowed. I think the Dodgers don't necessarily always start fast. They take a couple looks at the pitcher before they get going. And then on Yamamoto, I think he's going to be able to navigate this White Sox lineup pretty good. So Williams and Flaherty higher 0.5 first inning runs allowed. Shane Smith, Yoshinobu, Yamamoto lower than 0.5 first inning runs allowed. 3x multiplier. Number 2, Gavin Williams and Matthew Boyd higher than 0.5 first inning runs allowed. Gavin Williams, I just don't like him at all. And Matthew Boyd is fine, but I think Gavin Williams is going to give up a homer in the first inning. Paired with Jeffrey Springs and Shane Baz lower than 0.5 first inning runs allowed. Springs has gone 4 games without allowing a first inning run. Shane Baz has gone 11 games without allowing a first inning run. I like our odds there. So 3.18x multiplier on that one with Williams and Boyd higher 0.5 first inning runs allowed. Jeffrey Springs, Shane Baz lower than 0.5 first inning runs allowed. WNBA entry number 1, Commissioner's Cup. Special players make special plays on special days. Caitlin Clark higher than 33.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Getting back in the swing of thing. Had some time to rest after the injury. She obviously came back one game, did not play great. That's not going to be for long. Nafisa Collier higher than 22.5 points for the Lynx. She's just a star player who scores this many points with great frequency. Soccer entry number 1 in the FIFA Club World Cup. We're going to go with Vinicius Jr. higher than 0.5 goals and assists. And then we're going to pair that with Gregor Kobel higher than 2.5 saves. That's the goalie for the for Borussia Dortmund. I do think that Monterrey is going to get shots on goal. I don't necessarily think they're going to score, but they're going to get shots on goal. They're going to be aggressive. 2.64x multiplier on that one. Soccer number 2, we got to have a fun brother entry here. Don't go crazy on this one, but Jude Bellingham higher than 0.5 goals and assists, and Job Bellingham higher than 0.5 goals and assists. Let's get the brothers making things happen on the pitch. 4.37x multiplier on that one. Wimbledon number 1, Yoshi Nishioka lower than 0.5 sets won against Grigor Dimitrov. Dimitrov and Yoshi have both been injured this year, but I think that Grigor has never never dropped a set to Yoshito Nishioka. I don't think it's going to happen on the grass courts in Wimbledon. Jacob Menchik lower than 31.5 games played. I think Menchik is going to roll through this matchup. He's a guy who can dominate with the serve against Hugo Gaston, who is the French player, clay court specialist. It's just not a good matchup for him at all. I think that this is going to be done pretty quick. And conversely, if it goes bad for Menchik early, he is a guy that folds like a cheap chair. 3.51x multiplier on that one. Wimbledon entry number 2, Alina Rybakina lower than 18.5 games played. I'm expecting more domination because she's got so much more power than Alina Evanesian. I like Evanesian as a player on clay courts, clay courts, hard courts, but grass, it's going to be a tough go for her. Rybakina is going to hit her off the court. Pairing that with Diana Yastremska. Sorry, I didn't use Diana, actually. I didn't like the odds in that one. I was trying to find something to do with Coco, but it's not. I'm not using Diana. I'm using Mira and Driva lower than 17.5 games played. It's another one where I think that we're going to get a total dismantling because she is just very powerful, very young, very aggressive. I know sometimes she does drop sets, but against Maya Sharif, who is a clay court only type player you want to back, I think Andreeva is going to roll through her. So Alina Rybakina lower than 18.5 games played. Mira Andreeva lower than 17.5 games played. 3x multiplier. Lotto entry number 1, Aaliyah Boston, higher than 3.5 assists in every single Commissioner's Cup game. She's had 4 or more assists. She's had 5 in 3 out of 4, actually. I think that's going to keep up here. Caitlin Clark's going to score some points. Then I'm going to take Diana Yastremska higher than 8.5 games won. There we go. I used it in the Lotto. I forgot that. Diana Yastremska higher than 8.5 games won. Diana Yastremska higher than 8.5 games won against Coco Gauff. I do fully expect to see 3 sets in this one. Yastremska has some power, and she can play with anybody on good days. Andre Palante higher than 3.5 earned runs allowed. Pirates offense has woken up. I don't know who's going to be the guy today. I mean, Horowitz got it started yesterday. Brian Reynolds is getting on track. O'Neill Cruz obviously is a threat every time. So Andre Palante higher than 3.5 earned runs allowed. And then Shane Baz higher than 6.5 strikeouts against the Athletics. 20.15x, flex it. 12.09x if it goes 4 for 4, 2.87x if it goes 3 out of 4. Dong squad number 1, Marcell Ozuna higher than 0.5 home runs. As I said, I like him in this matchup against Anderson. Aaron Judge higher than 0.5 home runs. And then tricky, sneaky Michael Busch higher than 0.5 home runs for the Cubs. 82.8x multiplier, 41.4 if it goes 3 out of 3 on the flex, 9.13x if it goes 2 out of 3 on the flex. So let's hit that. Let's hit that flex number. Dong squad number 2, Shohei Ohtani higher than 0.5 home runs. Kerry Carpenter higher than 0.5 home runs. CJ Abrams higher than 0.5 home runs. 59.12x if it goes 3 out of 3. Flex it. 29.58x or 7.29x. Love the flexes on the Dong squad. All right, that's all I got for you today. Good luck on your picks, and let's make some money.